as we move into 2025, 2026, and post-election. How did you find Jesus?
Yeah. So I was raised in a religious home, actually, and at least half of my family. My dad was he didn't participate, so to speak. He was raised in a religious home and kind of rejected the religiosity of that. I was raised in a relatively religious home in a Catholic environment, which I have a lot of affection for, learned a lot, grew a lot, was actually I understood right and wrong. I understood moral value. I understood that I was created, knowledge that I was kind of surrounded by guys that were men of faith, that were followers of Christ, and we would have these late night conversations at Virginia Tech, and we were always so close. Like I felt like we believed mostly the same things, but I was experiencing God in a different way than they were. And I wanted what they had, because they had joy, they had peace, they had freedom, they had this zest for life, like you talked about your son. And I had kind of a burdensome faith where I was trying to perform and trying to be good enough. And I think I was kind of a works-based faith at that time. And, it kind of related to my relationship with my father. My father was a great man. I loved my dad. I discovered that he was an alcoholic sometime in high school. That began a little bit of a different relationship with my dad, one that was really performance-based. I knew that if I performed in school and performed in sports, my relationship with my father was going to be good.
Yeah.
So I understood how to kind of stay out of the crosshairs. But then I kind of projected that onto my relationship with my heavenly Father, with God. And I felt like my relationship with God was performance-based, and it was super heavy, because I was only as good as that day. How did I do today?
Yeah.
Was I good enough today to earn God's favor, to earn his love and acceptance? And my friends in that college environment said, well, that's really not the way God designed the relationship. God has forgiven you. God has set you free. When you receive Jesus, he actually takes that burden off. And there was a book that I was reading at the time called Pilgrim's Progress. And in Pilgrim's Progress, it talks about the main character was carrying a burden, a bag, a burden. And that burden, I knew what that burden felt like. That burden was performance. I was trying to earn God's favor. And when I finally surrendered my life to Christ and received that free gift of salvation, received his grace and forgiveness, that bag, and I think I told you this the first time we talked, that bag dropped off.
Yeah.
I felt a physical lightness and a heart lightness. And then next time I saw my friends, they were all like, man, you seem light. Like, you're different. I'm like, I surrendered to Christ.
Right.
I finally gave up that performance mentality and received the free gift of salvation. And from then on, it was really a different kind of life.